Welcome back, Insomniacs. It's Kurious Cyclopes.
And Steve.
And it being the month of October, we've been super busy, as you can imagine. Last night we did something for the first time that we thought we'd never be able to do in our lives. We actually traveled to Reaper's Revenge in Scranton, PA, and holy shit did we have an amazing time.
It is October 21st, 2017. Wow. Steve, tell us what happened during the day. Here, take the mic.
Dude,
tell the Insomniacs.
Today we started off the day. We got this amazing behind the scenes tour, all the little ins and outs. We got to find out oh, this is how we make this happen. This is what they do to have this. This one's animatronic. This is where an actor goes. It was this absolute VIP tour.
It really was.
They treated us like kings here. It was amazing. So yeah, that was how we started the day.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, we got a little day tour. Like he said, we got to see behind the scenes on the mechanics and all that. Something I thought was awesome was they did show us a lot, but they made sure not to spoil too much, so there was still an element of surprise. Definitely got me and Steve a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, not only was it a fantastic day tour, but at night, it's as if we didn't see anything, because it totally transformed.
Oh, yeah.
We saw giant mutant pumpkins. There was freaking graveyards with zombies, everything you expect and more.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, first time at Reaper's Revenge, I was fucking blown away, super impressed. Especially as a horror fan, I really, really appreciated, all the little references they had.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely want to come back next year. So thank you to Todd and thank you, Paul, so much, who we got to meet. Todd and Paul were freaking awesome, and the guy that was driving us in the golf cart.
Yeah.
So yeah, the golf cart tour was amazing.
Another shout out, Travis. Thank you for helping us set this whole thing up.
Travis was our contact.
Huge thanks to everybody here at Reapers. That was amazing.
So yeah, Travis, Todd, and Paul, thank you so much. We're definitely going to come back next year, but we can't wait to get this video edited. And guys, if you're a horror fan, you need to come on out here. Steve will vouch. He was terrified.
Oh,
right?
yeah, here, I'll take this. I don't like shit like this generally. I'm not really a haunted house kind of person and stuff, but I felt like it'd be good for the show, good for you guys to see it and stuff. So I sucked it up, and I got to say, yeah, I was on edge the whole time, but it was a super fun experience. I would honestly recommend it to everyone out there. So you got to come check this place out.
Yeah, it was awesome. So again, thank you for the complimentary VIP access. It was freaking awesome. Not only that, but when you're waiting in line, they're playing horror films. They were playing Ghostbusters, The Ring, Nosferatu. So hey! Hey! But yeah, I honestly, dude, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
fantastic experience.
That was great.
How many acres did they say it was altogether?
65.
65 fucking acres of horror. That is incredible. And obviously, it's the first time we're getting to discuss horror in another format again.
Yeah.
With live a horror attraction. So, Steve, how the hell did you even get this booked for our show?
So it started as a discussion with a friend that didn't necessarily pan out. But I was kind of given a contact to this guy, Travis, who works up there. And we spoke a little back and forth about what you and I were going to try to accomplish if we were able to come up there. Kind of told him a little about the show, kind of just what we wanted to get out of the experience and what we wanted to be able to give to them also. And he got back to me, said he was able to take care of us and set this whole thing up. It was amazing, dude.
It was. So what happened was, we pull up to Reaper's Revenge in the parking lot. Obviously, it's closed to the public because, we were getting a VIP tour during the day while they weren't active. And, Todd pulls up in a golf cart, meets up with us, and he has another guy. Unfortunately, I forget that he was our age, but I forget his name. He was so cool. But pretty much Todd was like, hey, we're going to give you a tour on these golf carts. Todd drove by himself. And then the younger guy drove all of us. So, it was so cool. So, of course, we started going on the little tour, on the hayride path, which goes through the woods. And holy crap. Not only were they showing us, all the different stages of the hayride and, all of the cool, where actors might be, or like where prosthetic dummies might be, and like, you know, pyrotechnics. They showed us everything. But the thing that was nuts is we actually got off of the golf carts and they showed us literally how shit worked.
Yeah,
like,
that was so much more than I expected too.
We got to see propane tanks. We got to see switchboards. We got to see literally like the room where all the audio feeds were getting fed into, and like, dude, I can't even comprehend it. Let's just, to give you a little idea of how like fucking impressive this place is. The first thing we see on the tour is like, oh yeah, you see that pole? That's a laser sensor that when the hayride goes off with the reflector attached to it, it sets off this chain of events, which is the automated lights, fog, you know, special effects, and holy crap, was it crazy. Now, how long was the length of this freaking hayride tour that we got?
It was pretty long, man. We, you know, there's the like 2 parts of it that we went through. I think it must have been, I think it was 5:30 when we were done. So we kind of rode around with them for maybe an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, it was insane. And, you know, the guys, I feel like as soon as they saw that how genuine we were, they got really into it. Like, they were talking about even, like, what they love about it. And both of them have worked there for several years.
Yeah.
A long time. I know Todd's been working there for a while, I believe.
I think he said, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
And the other dude, I think, was, like, 6 or 8, something like that.
And he actually, I believe that the people that work at Reaper's Revenge, he said they were, you know, involved in him getting engaged to his girlfriend. I think he engaged there at one of their bonfires or something.
That they both worked there together, and he proposed at their after-work fire.
So something we learned is the people at Reaper's Revenge, they truly are like a little family.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess that's why they constantly have the same people returning every year to stay there. So, hell, I would love to join that family one day, right?
Yeah.
And gosh, even the guy that was driving us around, like I said, we can't remember his name, unfortunately, but even he said, like, man, later tonight, if you guys want, you should come by the friggin' bonfire, because I guess, you know, when they close their operation, all the employees gather together and they have, like, you know, chat about the night and, you know, relax around the bonfire. It's like, damn, that is so generous.
Which was, like, mind-blowing, dude, the fact that, like, They don't know us from, like, anybody, but, like, right away we're so welcoming to be like, hey, come to this, like, employee-only event, like, after, like, it was so cool.
And something that was awesome is we actually ran into one of the freaking owners. Paul. Yeah, Paul. He was freaking cool. He pulls up in his truck. And, of course, Todd's like, hey, Paul, these are the guys from the show I told you about. So Paul comes up, talks to us. We have a little conversation, shoot the shit. Something that I really appreciated is Todd and Paul were saying they get professional reviewers all the time. I'm talking about, like, getting paid top reviewers. And they're like, you know, we checked out your show. We saw that you are newer and that you're getting started. But we didn't want that to, like, keep us from allowing you to come. Like, we don't want to be dicks like that. And he goes, plus, with your show, who knows what may happen in the future.
Right.
So this guy literally gave us a shot when we're not even on a professional level out of their own generosity.
Yeah.
And, like, the behind-the-scenes tour that we got, nobody gets to see that shit.
Right.
Like, unless you're working there. So I was freaking amazed. And the fact that they took the time to show us how the mechanics worked and, like, you know, we even saw cable lines in the trees of, like, when things go flying across. And the thing that's cool is, like, yeah, like I said, it was, like, over a freaking hour of getting all this exclusive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, they didn't tell us every little detail. That way there still was a surprise. So when we were on the hayride, we kept going, they didn't tell us about that, they didn't tell us about that, because, you know, shit would come out and surprise you. But, guys, the special effects here, holy shit. You have animatronics mixed with mostly live actors, because they really stress having live actors, which I truly appreciate. And on top of that, you get fire, fog, toxic waste. If you aren't careful, you might get some splashed on you. I'm telling you, it's super interactive. And so the special effects, no question about it, it's the best I've ever seen in my life at any haunted attraction. And I'm not just saying that, seriously. I was blown away. So, and of course, since, you know, they wanted to have some element of surprise, they did request we don't show too much. The tour, it was incredible.
That was amazing.
I really can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
So we talked about the special effects. We talked about the behind-the-scenes tour. Something something that really got me, and I was impressed. These actors, they'll touch you.
Oh yeah.
They like. First of all, one of the first things we saw, what were people giving out?
Oh yeah. Before you get loaded onto your what do you call it? Like a
your tractor.
Yeah, the tractor.
Yeah.
They kind of go through the line and tell you like, listen, anybody who's like pregnant or has any issues or like doesn't want to be touched, you need a glow stick because otherwise they're gonna touch you, and you need to make that glow stick visible.
Absolutely. And of course, they're giving Steve shit, right? Like, Steve, you're not getting glow sticks. Like, I don't want a glow stick, Andy. I don't want one. Yeah, you were.
I kind of wanted one.
Yeah, he wanted one. I'll tell you, Steve. Why don't you tell the Insomniacs? Obviously, this wasn't like a big, deal for me going through the haunted house. But tell the Insomniacs how you feel about haunted houses.
It's never really been my thing. Like I love horror movies, but the constant state of anxiety. I mean, we've known each other long enough. You know I'm an anxious person anyway.
Exactly.
About stupid shit. But then when I get like that level raised and it's just like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just like anxious. Like it's too much to handle. So like I don't really love stuff like this normally, but I knew it was going to be good for the show and that it would be an interesting thing to talk about and stuff. And honestly ended up having a really fucking good time.
I know. So pretty much, guys, just for the sake of the show, he literally faced a fear of his. Like, there's a couple things that really, like, get to you. And I know haunted houses was always one of those. Because those people their mission is to scare the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
And even growing up as kids, every time Steve would have to go to the bathroom back when we were hanging out at his mom's house, when he would come back up those stairs, Steve knew I was waiting around the corner to pop out and scare him. Sometimes I came from the left, sometimes I came from the right, but boy, did it scare him. So
yeah.
And if I tortured him growing up by popping out and scaring him, imagine having 20 people doing what I did. 20 people coming out trying to scare him.
Like every couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now I'm going to further go on into the physical aspect of it. Guys, when I was on the hayride, we got invaded by zombies. These fucking zombies, they ran. 2 of them walked right up to me, looked me in the freaking eyes and snarled. Guess what they did? One guy grabbed my left foot, one guy grabbed my right foot. They literally pulled me all the way to the back of the freaking trailer on the hayride. I was like, no, Steve, don't let me go. They literally pulled me. Because I was all the way in the back with Steve. So they pulled me all the way from the back to the front in front of like 20-something people. And they're all screaming like, ah.
Yeah.
And when they pulled me to the end of it, I was met by a horde of zombies. And they all started clawing at my legs like, rah, rah, trying to eat me. And then like, for a quick second, I escaped and I crawled back real quick. I was like, oh my God. And yeah, I ended up getting some hay in my pants and my shirt, but it was all worth it. It was fantastic. So yeah, they are hands-on. So if you're really, really, really scared, usually, you might want to consider glow stick. But if you want the full experience, Steve stuck it out.
Yeah.
Don't get the glow stick if you really want to challenge yourself.
And honestly, like, yeah, they touch you and stuff, but it's nothing like super aggressive. It's just
it's not like they're gonna punch you.
There's a lot of like low walls that have little like dropouts and stuff where they kind of like grab at your ankles, stuff like that.
Like, and honestly, when it came to the trapdoors, first of all, I could not tell where the hell they were. And like when I'm screaming because someone's behind me, next thing I know, a fucking wall's come down, and then I turn back around, there's someone right in your damn face.
Right. Oh my God. Not to like, I know we're jumping around, we're not really going through this in like chronological order, but eventually you get to this area, not to give too much away, but you end up in this little like shack thing, right? And all the lights go out, come back on, nothing's wrong. All the lights go out again. They come back on, and there's a dude like literally this far from my face.
And I was standing right next to him, and I have no idea how the hell they navigate in the pitch darkness like that. Like,
no idea. They're fucking brilliant.
But I gotta say, so obviously it started with the haunted hayride, but all 4 attractions were incredible.
Yeah, and that's one of the best parts of this whole thing. Like, most places you go, it's like, yeah, we have like just a haunted hayride, or oh, we're just this like big building of scares. Like, this is like 4 separate like haunted attractions, like all for one. Like it was awesome.
And it wasn't your mom and pop's hayride. Let's tell you that.
Nah.
Like I said, it's split up into 4 parts. So there's a part where they freaking kick you off of the hayride, and you have to run through a circus of killer clowns going after you. Guys, even now I'm getting flashbacks. Like one of the most terrifying moments for Steve, I bet you, was there every couple of people, like we had to cross the bridge, only a few people could go at a time. Of course, like a genius, Steve right in front of the ladies, like, dude, like, I'm sticking with you, we're not getting split up. He kept on saying it. So what happens? As soon as Steve goes across the bridge and I try to follow him, the girl blocks the rope, and Steve literally stopped, turned around, went, "Are you serious?" It was like, great. So Steve had to wander into the clown hell by himself.
To my credit, though, I did. I was fine.
He did it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for Steve because I didn't want him to like have like a breakdown. Like, ah!
There was like one period where I think I got grabbed just like back to back to back like 3 times in a row, and I'm just like walking through like this with my hand, head down. I was just like, enough.
I'll tell you. And then as soon as the lady let me go on the bridge, I freaking ran and screamed, "Steve! Steve! Dude!" It wasn't until like the 6th time I screamed that he even heard me. He's like, "Andy, I'm over here!" Like,
yeah.
Guys, they put us in another world. Like, if you want a haunted attraction, this shit, dude, tell me, you were in a horror film
for
that whole time. I just can't talk enough about it. We don't want to get too in depth with the attractions because, you got to experience it yourself.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff to look at in the carnival area, though. Like they literally have like old like carnival like ride stuff, like little like carousel.
Dude, they had a Ferris wheel, dude.
A running Ferris wheel.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Like nobody was on it, obviously, but like it was spinning the whole time.
Dude, the fact that these guys got a hold of a freaking Ferris wheel and a carousel, like everything that they set up for the scenes, oh my god, how much effort, dude. Oh, yeah. So much freaking effort.
You can tell that it's a real, like, labor of love at that place. Like,
dude, when they were describing the shit to us in the process, dude, they were excited the whole damn time, which made us even more excited in turn. But, gosh, so, yeah, the attractions themselves were amazing. But you know what? You know a place is really special when every minute is fun. So, what did Todd tell us? He said that one complaint that they've had in the past is people complain about waiting in line. Guys, that's not an issue anymore. You want to be in line. Steve, tell me a little bit about the line.
I mean, first of all, I think it was a relatively quickly moving line. I think
first of all, yeah, it was quick, yeah.
But even for your short wait that you're in line, they're constantly stimulating you somehow. At like the front end of the line, they actually have like a drive-in type screen up, and they're playing movies. So throughout the night, they played Ghostbusters, The Ring, Nosferatu. And then as you progress through the line and get kind of closer to the ride, there's actually actors in the line who come and interact with you in different ways. So it was really cool.
There was a friggin' clown in front of us for who knows how long.
And it was so weird.
We didn't even notice her. And then we're like, okay, is it a customer dressed like a clown? Right. We're like, oh, no, that's yeah.
I was like, I looked at you guys at one point, and I was just like, have I just been not paying attention this whole time? Or did that clown in front of us just show up? Like,
yeah, and like that's the thing. Like they get so engaged with you. You're like, are they an actor or are they just here dressed up? Like,
right.
And that's part of the psychological toll it can have on you. But like I said, because the actors in line and the movie playing, the line was nothing.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
So, if you have gone in the past and, that was like a little thing you didn't like, that is totally rectified this year. And I'm assuming from now on they're going to do the same style.
Right.
Like, I was literally watching Ghostbusters for a long part of that line.
And it's not like we were there on an off day, man. We were there on like one of the busiest days, like a Saturday, like right before Halloween weekend.
There was a bunch of people that got online before us, but we, just like Todd recommended, we waited till about 6:45 when it truly was starting to get dark.
And he was absolutely right when he told us on the VIP tour that like when you see all this stuff in the daylight, it looks absolutely different at nighttime in the darkness.
Boy, was he right.
Total transformation.
First thing we said on the hayride was like, okay, this is he was right. It is totally different.
Yep.
The thing is, like, he he even went so far as to like, oh, when you get to this part, this comes out. When you get to this part, that comes out. Like, during the daytime. At night, all that goes out the window because it's almost like you can't even recognize everything because the blanket of darkness truly brings it to life.
I thought that was going to be the edge that I had on the hayride, was that like, we
got
this
you
tour,
kinda
so
knew.
I kind of knew what was coming. It didn't fucking matter. Like, there was still shit that was freaking me out the whole time.
And I'll tell you, this hayride, it was mostly outdoors as you would expect, and then a few spots, you're in maybe like a little shack or a building. Like, the set pieces, I cannot tell you enough. Like,
They're amazing, dude.
You have zombies coming after you in the woods. You have Michael Myers walking through the freaking patch of pumpkins. Like, oh my god, guys. We even saw like Crystal Lake with Jason. Like, it was just terrifying. But I feel like the well from the ring was a big highlight. Of course, you pull up to this one part, you start seeing that fucking VHS tape that's playing. You're like, oh god, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the well's right around the corner, and guess who comes running out at you? The freaking creepy girl, whatever her freaking name is.
Samara, was that her name?
Yeah, what's called that freaking Versus movie that tells you her name.
Oh yeah, I don't know the
the Japanese counterpart.
Name.
Yeah,
I know the two names. I don't know which is her. It's either Sadako or Kayako.
But it sure was freaking creepy. It really was. Besides that, every single person that we walked by, Todd was like, oh, these are the guys from the show. These are guys from the show. So, besides everything else we talked about, we just want to say how personable they were.
Oh, yeah.
They went out of their way to make sure we were comfortable and that, Todd even said, guys, if you need anything, this is my email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I was like, this guy freaking, it's like he loves us already. Right. We just met, but that's just how nice they are. That's how nice they are.
They took such good care of us for us being, like, really nobody to them.
Exactly. Like, the fact that they even said, like, we know you're new. We know you're, just starting to get started out, but that doesn't matter. We're still going to let you do this gig. Like I said, and professionals come there all the time, they said. So it was humbling. Yeah. Definitely very humbling. And it kind of gave us experience of maybe how to work with people in the future. It was great. Once we got a hold of Travis and things rolled from there, the communication was so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was really happy about that. Now, as for entertainment in general, as we said, they did play movies on that little drive-in setup. Right when we left Reaper's Revenge, starting to calm down, they actually had like a performer on stage, doing a belly dance as a zombie. And it was really cool. So, they had a couple dancers after that. But it's neat that they kind of have everything. They got zombie dancing. They got movies playing. They got... They even have a paintball game that you could.
With live zombies.
Yeah, you could freaking go up to the stand where they have at carnivals sometimes they have the little guns they could shoot. They got paintball guns, and these guys in zombie outfits, they'll come out and you can shoot them up. That's freaking awesome. But it was great. And we had a real blast doing recording the closer with the gate, right?
Yeah,
guys. When I say they got pyrotechnics, that definitely includes the exit. It was awesome. Is that the entrance exit? Because I saw people coming. Yeah. But right at the gates before you even get in, they're freaking blowing flamethrowers all over the place. Like, I just can't get over like the technological aspect of the whole thing. On top of how many people, like, didn't they say they had around 200 people that would work there on a night? Like, that's incredible.
So what do you feel like? I know you don't really get freaked out by these things, but what do you feel like was like the most potentially like freaky area, and what do you think was like the coolest to go through, just like set wise and stuff?
Okay, the scariest. Let me think of the real scariest part. To be honest, I think the scariest might have been the carnival. Do you know why? Guys, these clowns are really all over the goddamn place, and they pop out at you. And dude, there were so many like fences and shit you had to navigate around, and every goddamn corner there's gonna be something there getting you. But honestly, because of the actors and the amount of actors, the carnival, I thought it was the scariest. Like, even though I don't get scared by shit, you're damn right I was on alert, because even though I'm not scared, I'm still looking for the actors. Like, all right, where are they hiding? Like, where are they gonna get me? And of course I'm like, all right, he's right around the corner. I get around the corner, no one's there. I turn around,
Yeah.
Like, dude, they're very, very good at what they do. You could tell they're experienced, but I'll tell you what, dude. Just with having Steve being so freaked out, it definitely got me onto that same mindset. You know what I mean? Like, because like he was enhancing my enjoyment of it.
You were getting contact scares.
I was getting contact scares off Steve, and I didn't even know that was possible. So I might have to rub some of his sweat off so I could take it later. Because I love getting scared, and
I'll bottle it up for you.
Thank you. Maybe we'll sell that on the store, our web store that we don't have yet. But if you want some Steve sweat, it's good for a scare.
I think in retrospect, I would have to agree with you that the carnival was like definitely the freakiest. But because of how much I psyched myself out of it, like that pitch black section was the one that initially like had me overboard. Like, because I hate being completely out of control. So to like not be able to see, not be able to move, like every part of me once I got in there and couldn't see and felt being touched and stuff, like all I wanted to do was just like stand there and like not move until it stopped. But I knew that wasn't gonna happen, so I was just like, fucking suck it up and go. Like,
do you know what was really scary about that pitch? What was it, Pitch Black?
Pitch Black.
Yeah. Well, the thing that was so scary about Pitch Black was there were several times, and Steve will even attest to this, but there were several times where I literally stopped for a second. I'm like, where the hell do I go?
Right.
Because you think you're at a dead end because you're so freaked out, and then sometimes you'll notice like, oh, there's like another path over here. But here's the real kicker: when I'm at a split road, like I can either go left or right. Every single time I said, which way do I go? Do I go left or right? And as soon as I would say that to myself, someone would pop out from the direction I wasn't supposed to go. So then naturally, I'd go running the way I was supposed to go in the first place. Like, and I think that's part of their fucking mind game. Like, they want the actors to wait, so that way you're like, do I go here? Do I go there? And then they pop out like, okay, I'm going this way. Like,
yeah.
And I literally had to scale the walls with my hands to navigate since it was pitch black. But I could have sworn there was parts I was touching the wall. There was like blood on my hand or something. Like they put something on there. Like
that was the kind of thing where literally everybody who they let in, you just had to like grab the person in front of you and just kind of like follow along.
I'm not gonna lie, there was some lady behind me who was obviously freaking out. She thought she was gonna be holding on my jacket the whole time. Hell no. We get in there 2 minutes after she's grabbing on my jacket. I rip my jacket away from her and I go running ahead of her because I had to catch up with you anyway. Because somehow Steve kept getting ahead of me. He was like, ah! But it was freaking great.
I think the Sector 13 part after that might have been my favorite part, like as far as like set design.
I was actually just gonna say it for coolness, like you were saying, the set pieces. Sector 13,
and it was the one that was like the most interactive, like the pulling people aside, putting them in cages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got locked up in a cage, dude, and of course they had to take Steve away from me. Every time they separated Steve and I, it's almost like they were like, hey, these are the guys from the show. Make sure this guy gets separated.
Yeah, right.
Because it kept happening. And that was his worst fear. Every time we were in line for something, he was like, Andy, make sure we don't split up because that's going to kill me.
That's how people die.
Yeah, and then what happens? The actors come in and they split us up. So I'm getting tossed into a cage in Sector 13. He's getting thrown into a freaking doctor's chair. As like, what was even happening? I was watching in horror, scared for your life.
I had to like turn my head and stuff while they checked me out, and then the girl was like whispering. I was freaked out because she was like that far away from my ear.
Oh my
God. I was like, ugh. But it wasn't so bad. Like at least they didn't separate us for good. We ended up back together. So.
And honestly, like I said, I'm really proud of Steve because. We're not gonna lie. There were some moments where you were considering, should I sit this one out or should I?
Pitch Black was the only one that I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. And then they told us to take our glasses off.
Oh yeah, that really got you.
I get that you can't see in the pitch blackness anyway, but like, I'm not rich. If I, God forbid, drop these or they get knocked out of my pocket or something, like, so I just didn't want to.
I think it's made from stuff hanging.
I guess
they're probably afraid it's gonna get snagged off your face.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I took them off, and I was a good sport about it. It worried me.
But naturally, when people tell you gotta take off your glasses and hats, you know you're in for something extra if there's a risk of something getting knocked off. So you know your face is getting touched. That's for sure. But it's just amazing. Like, that place was super hands-on, literally, and I just loved it. I can't thank people, like all the people there, enough. And definitely a shout out to the security guy that was working at the entrance exit as we were leaving.
He was awesome.
I was like, listen, because obviously I don't think there's like re-entry technically, but we had to go and get the camera. Like, listen, we were here working with Todd and Paul and Travis. We just are here to shoot the outro. It's like, yeah, no problem. So not only did he allow us, to stand to the side and record our outro at the gate, this guy grabbed the key from the other security guard. He turned on the flames just for our outro, like the flames on the gate that go crazy. Seriously, like, obviously, naturally, I want to say, like, we don't deserve all this, but they were just so kind and super generous. And, like, after we realized those passes they gave us, they were not cheap. They were expensive values. So, again, we cannot thank them enough. The least that we could do to give back is we hope Reaper's Revenge, they like this video. And really, this is going to go to our local fan base that we have. Yeah. And then everyone else that watches our show online. And, definitely there's more people that need to learn about Reaper's Revenge, especially after I was there. Like, I'm going to tell everyone about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll be back with people next year.
And my God. Reaper's Revenge, if you would like to invite us back next year, we are totally there. And the earlier the better. That way we could promote you guys, as the season is still young.
Yeah.
So,
and definitely, I mean, they're only running for until the first week in November this year. But if you see this and feel like going to check it out, you absolutely should.
Guys, I'm telling you, like, this, if you want scary, this is your shot. I'm telling you. Like the atmosphere and everything. We love this so much. Of course, we had to get some Reaper's Revenge swag at the gift shop. Oh, yeah. By the way, the lady at the gift shop, shout out to you because you were super kind.
Awesome, yeah.
And of course, she likes horror films, so we gave her one of our business cards. But it was a great time. Guess that's gonna probably wrap up our thoughts, right? Yeah. Honestly, I'm still in awe about the whole thing.
It was just the whole day was amazing.
Yeah. So thank you again to Todd, Travis, Paul, and everyone else that helped us. Like, it's been amazing. So
yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah.
All right, but thank you again, everyone at Reaper's Revenge. And, thank you for watching. And come out to Reaper's Revenge. So if you can't come next week, come next year. All right, so Kurious Cyclopes.
And Steve.
This is Never Sleep Again TV. Thank you for watching.